it's you.
I want to talk to Sky.
Well, why are you calling me? I don't know where your friend is.
Well, he's your friend, too. That's only too obvious. I know he's gone over to your place. So please, let me speak to him.
Miss Webster, I don't know where you've gotten this idea, but it's wrong. He is not here.
He told you to say that, didn't he? Couldn't you see he was drunk? That he didn't know what he was doing?
Miss Webster, I am hanging up. I'm sorry. Please don't bother me again.
What was that all about?
That pesky woman with the British accent?
Yeah, well, it sounded like she thought that you had some guy here or something.
She has this delusion about me. She thinks that I'm trying to steal that man away from her.
Yeah, well, I'd really like to meet this Sky Whitney double sometime.
Well, I don't think you'd enjoy it. There's something very disturbing about it.
Fine, Spencer. You can't throw me out. I don't have any place else to go. Now, look, you wouldn't want to see a multi-millionaire sleeping in a gutter.
I'm telling you, she is here right now. The house isn't empty.
Who's here?
Raven Whitney. She's upstairs in her bedroom.
She is?
Yes.
Hey, Raven!
Stop that.
Hey, Raven! Hey, this is Whitney! Oh.
Spencer, what's going on?
It's all right, Mrs. Whitney.
Who is that? What happened?
It's just some lunatic. He pushed his way into the house before I could stop him.
Well, how did he do that?
He told me he was a reporter. I'm very sorry, but you don't need to worry. You can go back to your room now. I'll take care of everything.
Yeah, so what'd you do? Spend the whole night at Sid's brooding about Eddie Lorimer?
I didn't stay much longer after you and Dee Dee left, actually. But, you know, something interesting happened while I was there.
Yeah? What was that?
You remember that conversation I told you I had with Geraldine and Nora Fulton about Raven going off on some cruise?
Oh, yeah. You said that she'd gone off with that guy she met in the Caribbean.
Right. Well, I think I know who this guy was supposed to have been, and you may know him, too.
Me?
Yeah, you were involved with that acting company for a while, right?
Well, yeah, I was around there for a little while. Why? Was he supposed to be one of them?
Well, this guy's name was Johnny Gentry. Does that ring any bells?
I'm beginning to hear a little tinkle, but, it's possible that Nora wasn't right about what she heard.
Nora was wrong. I saw this guy, Johnny Gentry, tonight at a restaurant with a very classy lady.
Well, I could have told you that. Johnny's always around that place. So you're sure Raven's gone off on this cruise, huh?
Well, it's not likely that Nora Fulton would be wrong about that.
No, I suppose not. She must have decided she needed another vacation.
Why? She just went on a vacation.
You know how rich people are. One vacation leads to another one. I mean, what else has she got to do with her time?
Well, don't you think it's kind of peculiar that Nora was wrong about Raven being gone with Johnny Gentry? I mean, maybe she was wrong about where Raven went.
Tyler, you spend an awful lot of time worrying about that woman. Are you sure she's worth all that trouble?
Calvin, we all take a lot of trouble over women, don't we?
Now that, my friend, is true.
Look, here it is. See if this doesn't prove it.
Prove what?
About the guy who said he called the apartment here and who said I told him about your mother. What's his name?
Endicott. Dwight Endicott.
Right, Endicott. Okay, look, you left on Monday, right?
Right.
Okay, I got 2 calls that night, both from Dr. Kavanaugh's nurse. Well, I already told him about that. Then the next day, Tuesday, right, 3 calls. 9:30 a.m., the repairman from the appliance company saying you couldn't make it until next week. No big surprise. And then Mrs. Carr called to see what was happening. I told you that, too.
Mrs. Goodman, this really isn't important.
Yeah, but it is important to me. I mean, this guy, Endicott, I don't know whoever he is, he plays a lot of games with the truth, is all I can say. Anyway, the point is, the 3rd call was from the doctor's nurse, wanting to know what time he'd be back. And that's it.
So there's no record at all of Endicott phoning here?
No. And besides, listen, I don't really need this notebook to remember that. I just would never say such a personal thing to a stranger. Your mother dying, you know, I wouldn't.
I know, and I believe you, honestly, and I'm sure the man was just mistaken.
Hi, kids.
Hi, how is everyone?
Oh, well, we're fine, but I think I managed to upset Mrs. Goodman a little tonight.
Oh, that's not very nice. Why'd she do that?
Well, I don't want to make a big issue of this, but I also don't want people to think I'm a blabbermouth.
I don't think you're a blabbermouth. I told Mrs. Goodman what you told me about Dwight Endicott.
Oh, yes, that.
Well, anyway, she swears that he did not call here when we were in Springfield.
No, he didn't. And even if he had called, I would just have said that you were away.
Well, don't worry about it. It's really not important.
Still leaves one question unanswered, though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I'll get that.
Take your pad.
Ah, wise guy. Kavanaugh residence? Yes, she's here. May I tell her who's calling? Mrs. Who? Yeah, 1 minute, please. Honey, Jody.
Yeah?
Do you know a woman named Mrs. Ingersoll?
Yeah, I do.
Well, she'd like to talk to you.
Thanks. Hello?
This is Ida Ingersoll, honey. You remember me, don't you?
Yes, of course I do. How are you?
Oh, well, if you're asking about my health, don't get me started. I mean, I got a back and a hip like you wouldn't believe. Well, anyway, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. You know, I know you wasn't having no picnic up here.
No, but you made it a lot easier on me, Mrs. Ingersoll. On all of us.
Oh, that was a real sweet note you sent me, honey. And the flowers were beautiful. Well, I meant to write a thank you, but you wouldn't believe my fingers.
Well, please don't worry about it.
Oh, well, that's not what I called you about anyway. A funny thing happened this morning, and I thought you ought to know about it. That wino that calls himself the super of this building, he brought a package to my place. He said he found it in the basement.
A package?
Yeah, it was in your mother's storage place. You know, I never even thought of looking there, and it has her name written across the paper.
Well, do you know what's in it?
No, I don't. But I thought you might want it, whatever it was.
Yes, I do. Listen, maybe you could have it shipped here, and I'll pay for the cost.
Well, I had sort of a different idea. Well, you see, I've got to come down to Monticello tomorrow myself anyway. I'm going to visit my married daughter there, and I thought maybe I could bring it to you. Would that be okay? Okay, honey. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
I still remember when you brought that home for me, Sky. I was so thrilled. It meant so much to me to know that you loved me enough to want to see me even when I wasn't here. And now you're not here. And all I have is a picture. No. I have more than that. I have memories.
That's right, Raven. I was not always Schuyler Whitney. There was a time in the very dim past when I was someone else. Someone named Jefferson Brown. But now I am Sky. And this is my house. And you are my wife, Mrs. Schuyler Whitney.
Yes, that's right. And I shall always be Mrs. Schuyler Whitney.
Raven, Schuyler Whitney was a killer.
No, that's not true.
He killed Gunther Wagner. He killed Bobby Gerard. He would have killed you next.
No. He might have been an imposter, but he was not a murderer.
He's the man who stole those documents from my father. He was a traitor and a spy.
You just hate him. Everybody hated him. But I loved him. And he loved me.
But it must be true. A man kills the thing he loves most.
No. That's not true. That's not true.
Schuyler, I just want to tell you one thing. I have never, ever loved a man as much as I love you. And you have made me so happy. I just want you to know that.
Me so much. He did.
What happened? Sky. Wake up, baby. Wake up, baby! God!
Who did it? Who killed Sky? Who killed you?
So you found him?
He found me.
What?
Came over to the Whitney mansion. Tried to see Raven Whitney.
Right. That's right. And my friend here, he knocked me out with a punch on the chin.
Oh, Spencer.
Barged into the house saying he needed to stay there, that you had kicked him out.
That isn't true. We just had a little disagreement, that's all, about his drinking.
Come on, Libby, admit it. You gave me an ultimatum. You kicked me out.
I did no such thing. I just felt he didn't have the right to behave any way he pleased. But why on earth did you have to hit him?
He was yelling for Raven Whitney to come downstairs. He wanted to talk to her.
It was the right time, Spencer. It was the time for me to meet her face to face.
No, it was the wrong time. You can't afford a confrontation yet. Not yet.
Oh, yeah? Well, why not? Everyone else doesn't believe me. Raven Whitney will be the only one who will believe me. Because she knows that the man that she married was a fake.
I told you, there are things happening now.
What things?
Just never mind, Libby. Skylar, if you had seen Raven Whitney tonight, you would have ruined everything.
What's going on? Is there something I don't know?
All you have to know is this bickering between you two has to stop. We can't afford it. Things are difficult enough.
Yeah. Things sure are difficult.
Have to get back to the house. Now look, we just have to hang on a little bit longer, but until then, just remember what I said.
I need a refill.
I know it won't come as a surprise to you that our marriage come to a kind of crossroads this year. This is not working out. Well, if it isn't the coach, what brings you around here at this hour?
Well, I just wanted to see how you're doing.
Oh, it's nothing. Thanks anyway, though. Come on in. I bet you came to tell me that the scam was such a success, that Raven was so impressed that she not only gave you back the Whitney Theater, but she's going to back your first production, right?
Oh, I wish. No, I don't think she even got the message yet.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Jim, I don't think she's going to get the message. I think the whole thing was a waste of time and money. I just thank God that it's over.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about something. When she gets back, I'm gonna go see her.
What for? You're not gonna get any kind of warm reception over there.
No, it's more something that I want to give to her.
What?
An apology. Yeah, I know she probably won't accept it. I'll probably get my eyes scratched out. You know, I got a feeling she's already figured out why I participated in that little practical joke. It has something to do with something she did to me and my wife.
Calvin, I came over here to tell you that I feel the same way about the scam as you do.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, it would have been okay if it was just short, but it went on too long. I mean, revenge is sweet up to a point, and then it gets bitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I appreciate hearing you say it, though.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a little late for second thoughts now. Too late.
Remember?
Remembered what?
I did tell somebody about your mother.
Who?
It was your nurse, Dr. Kavanaugh.
Barbara?
I think it was her. I made a note of it in the pad that you gave me.
You mean it might not have been her?
Well, I thought it was her, but I'm just not sure of anything anymore. I must be getting soft in the head. Look, this woman called up, and she wanted to know if you'd gotten back yet. And I said, no, that you had to stay over because of the funeral. Did I do something wrong?
No, I just think we're all making too much fuss over this, and I don't want to hear any more about it.
Yeah, all right. Well, thanks, Mrs. Kavanaugh.
Well, you know what I'm curious about? I wonder what it is that Jody's mother kept in the basement.
You know, it might be something of absolutely no value. You realize that?
It's true, Jody. People don't keep valuable stuff in the basement very often. Don't expect too much, all right?
It might be something sentimental or a memento of some kind.
Maybe. I just don't know what my mother would want to remember.
I wonder what it is.